I wanted to ask about another controversial topic and maybe an even more controversial one, and that is taxes. Your state treasurer has indicated that she anticipates a tax shortfall of about $10 billion through next summer, and you have indicated that it could be twice that because of this pandemic. In recent days, you've talked about raising taxes. How do you think about raising taxes at a time when, through the pandemic, we have seen that workers and families are more mobile than ever with their jobs and can easily leave New Jersey if they choose so if you raise taxes?
Yeah, I would say it's a very good question. We're going to get back to fiscal well-being based on four different principles. Number one, the ability to borrow money, which we just were allowed to do by our Supreme Court. Number two, to cut expenses, in some cases expenses that will hurt, but we have no choice. Number three is look at raising revenues to raise the money to address the enormous inequities that this virus has laid bare. So that's not raising revenues on working families and middle class. That's on the folks and entities that can afford it. That is, listen, I've been for a millionaire's tax for many years, and I remain so. But let me tell you the big X factor, which I have to address. The overwhelming X factor is Congress needs to act. The Republican leadership in the Senate needs to meet on common ground. The House HEROES Act. The president needs to sign it. Everything from unemployment insurance to small businesses, restaurants, hospitality, and direct cash assistance to states and local entities. If that happens, and it happens in significant amounts of numbers, that gives us an enormous amount of degrees of freedom that we don't have now. And that's not a blue state thing. It's an American state thing.
If you get money from the government, you won't raise taxes?
No, I won't say that. But the degrees of freedom we will have if we get the appropriate amount, and not just New Jersey, any American state will be light years different from where we are right now. We will separately, aggressively address the inequities that have been exposed and laid bare over the past number of months.
Yeah, I hope that didn't ruin things with Sorkin. Andrew, everybody's going to be raising revenue. I hope that's not going to be the issue. You know, go ahead. It still won't be as bad as New York.
You know my view. I'm happy to pay my taxes. Very happy to pay my taxes. I don't want to overpay my taxes. I think we got to get a balance, but I'm happy to pay the tax. I've been, especially during this pandemic, as I've said to you before, I think we have all been blessed, and I actually think we have a contribution to make, and that's our contribution in this world.
Yeah. Right now. I know.
Listen, Joe and Andrew, I will say this.
You just need to be able to hit a button and put. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, we've been coming out of several decades of government's not the answer, government's the problem. When government has worked in this crisis, I think it's made a point that we have, if you're looking for silver linings in this awful tragedy, and the tragedy here is over 14,000 lost lives, government, when it works, is worth it.
Yeah, we're all socialists in a foxhole government. I think that's the new expression. We do appreciate it.